I just want to start by saying, like, congrats, y'all. We made it. Not in the I manifested everything way, though that would have been great, but in a very real, very human way. We're still here, we're still breathing, and somewhere inside you, something still wants more. And you should applaud that. Because let's be honest, I don't know about y'all, but I know 2025 tried me re- repeatedly with enthusiasm and bravado. And so let's give the handcuffs to ourselves for surviving. Now, y'all know we usually do a end of the year episode, and I wasn't sure which way we were gonna go this time because I was like, I'm not in the mood to be like happy preppy. But you know what? As naive as it might be, I am optimistic for 2026. And so I want us to end 2025 reminding ourselves that we survived and survival is not failure, it's evidence of capacity. We've been taught to look at every year and ask, what did I achieve? What did I build? What did I finally get? But I want to offer a gentler question. Ask yourself, what did I learn to survive without? Because let me tell you something. I learned, and I think if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you would know like your girl's a Capricorn rising. And while your girl is like very free when it comes to like spiritual things, yeah, let's talk about all the conspiracies. Yeah, let's talk about crystals. Let's do astrology. There's Bigfoot. Tell me more. Yeah, in that way, I am very free, but I am very much a Capricorn rising. I like to have a plan. I like to know where I'm going. I like to plot. That is your girl's mode of operation. And the last couple of years, but definitely 2025, has taught me that things don't have to go according to plan and it can still be okay. It's not the end of the world. So today we're going to talk about the things that, yeah, we didn't get, but how we learned to live anyway, about the people we thought we needed that we did not chase, and it was perfectly okay. And we're going to talk about how emotional muscle was still built quietly. And while this wasn't one of those years for a lot of us that handed us trophies, it was a year that for a lot of us did hand us discernment. Now, I'm not gonna spill all my tea, but just know this year was messy. This was a messy, messy year. I started off 2025 working for myself. And then I don't know if some of you guys remember this, but like I had an emergency where like I went to the doctor on some like, oh, we're doing a check-in. And that was in April. And they're like, girl, how are you walking? Ambulance right away. And I was in the hospital 5 days. And let me tell you, that shook a lot of things for me. Also, don't worry, I'm fine. Everything's perfectly fine. That was a situation that was like a one-time thing. But it shook a lot of things for me. And one of the things it did, it like really made me afraid to work for myself. Like when I tell you I made a panic decision, like I don't know why. I think it was because one, I was in the hospital for 5 days. Two, on insurance that I was paying for myself, the Affordable Care Act, not with a company that was very expensive. Um, but also, not only did I have to stay in the hospital for 5 days, y'all, they wanted me to take off for like 2.5 weeks. And I was like, I can't do it. I work for myself. If I don't work, I don't get paid. Like, I don't got PTO. It's literally just me operating. And I ended up doing 1 week. That was like my compromise. And it was a horrible compromise because I was in so much pain. And I felt so bad for my clients during this time because I felt bad because I had to cancel so many appointments. And then I was going back in and I was not feeling like myself. And I was in a lot of pain trying to like push through my day. And because of all that, I made like just a quick decision of like, oh, I need to start working for somebody again. I need PTO. I need somebody else paying for at least half of my healthcare. I need, like, when I tell you I made a panic decision, y'all, I went into operation on April 4th, and they were operating on me all the way until the early mornings of April 5th. And I had a job interview by like April 15th, and I started that job May 12th. Like I don't, and it's so funny because every now and then I think about it, and I was like, why did I do that? Like, why? I think I was just so panicked about like everything that happened, and that was not a good decision. A lot of really great things happened from that. Shout out to Vicky. I met an amazing friend who's so dope. And it did allow me to do certain things that I needed to do. However, it just kept being pointing out to me blaringly, like, yo, you know, this is not you already know this is not going to work for you. You already know, like, this is not where you're at in your life anymore. And I had battle with myself of like, yo, you got to come out of it. And one of the things I had liked was like, I really enjoyed having PTO again. I really enjoyed being able to be like, oh, I'm not going to be here for 5 days. Pay me anyways. But that's when that discernment thing kind of kicked in for me, right? And while it was kicking in for me at work, it was also kicking in for me in different areas in my personal life. When I say 2025 had hand to ass for me all freaking year long, I mean, all year long. Like, there's so many habits that I was like, I gotta keep this thing because it keeps me safe. That the universe just was like, we are going to spank this out of you because there's certain things that you seem to be hard headed about. Fine. I'm going to give you a little tap on the wrist. But if you don't take that tap on the wrist, we get in a switch and we're using it like a belt. Like that was 2025 for me. And it really kind of like stripped away some of my reluctance around stepping into roles of leadership, which I knew was a thing that I was being called to do. And it's something that I've always hated. Like I've always been somebody that if I got into positions of leadership, it was reluctant and it was like in the background. It was like, okay, I'll do this and I'll tell y'all what we need to do and how we need to go. But like, no, it's okay. Y'all don't got to give me credit. Like, y'all let somebody else, I don't need to be the face of it. You can be the face. You're so charismatic. You're so good at it. I can organize some things. I can plan some things and y'all go ahead and take the credit. I just want to make sure we all good. Like that has always been how I ended up in leadership and how I approached it. And honestly, I still don't think nothing wrong with that. Universe, please don't come down and smite me. Your girl is still tired from the last time y'all smite me. But that was one of the things that really, really came up for me this year. It was like, you're going to be pushed into this. So you can either make this painful and hard or just let it be awkward and a learning experience. And I'm finally at the point where I'm like, all right, I'll just let it be awkward. But let me tell y'all, the way I let it be hard all of 2025, not only that, but reoccurring themes, at least for me, around like me wanting to handle everything and then getting like really resentful that I was handling everything. And one of the things I know for me that I this year kind of like proved to me over and over again, this was not a year of trophies for me. There was not a single trophy given. This was a year of timeouts. This was a year of spankings for me. I promise you that. But one of those things for me was kind of like, you can't keep saying, I got it, I got it, I got it. And then getting mad at people when they're not intuitively recognizing, oh, but you need help. You tell them you got it. You told them you're good. You didn't vocalize, I need help or anything. And as I sat down and I really thought about, like, okay, we're ending the year. Let's do a recap of 2025. It wasn't a year where I have a whole lot of highlighted moments of like, wins, but it was a year I had a lot of highlighted moments of me being taken off a path that would have been really, really harmful if I continued on it and being rerouted. And that is something I still think is worth being grateful for. It may not have been the 2025 I was hoping for. It definitely was not the 2025 on my vision board, but it was the 2025 that I got, and I'm going to take the lessons I've learned from it. I refuse to have gone through all those things and feel nothing but frustration and disappointment when the truth of the matter is I survived and you guys survived as well. And here's the thing, joy did not leave. I know for a lot of us, again, 2025 was one hell of a year. And for some people, it might have felt like joy left, but it didn't. It may have gotten quieter, and that's real, but joy isn't always loud. Sometimes joy looks like peace where chaos used to be. Sometimes it's laughing again without having to explain why. Sometimes it's realizing that your nervous system isn't on red alert anymore. That can also count as joy. This year, did you discover small pleasures? Did you have moments of ease that you did not self sabotage? Did we have moments of joy of just not reacting the way that we used to? Let that joy be counted. While we may not have checked out the biggest things on our list. And also, for those of you guys who did, because some of y'all did, some of y'all still was out here doing the damn thing. Look, all the claps for y'all. I'm proud of y'all. Y'all were out here thriving. While some of us was in like pure survival mode, and claps to you. Y'all deserve that. But for those of us that didn't, it's okay. You're not behind. You're just refining. New Year's Eve, a lot of times it comes with a lot of pressure to like automatically become someone new. But I don't know. The longer I think about it, the more I think the answer isn't becoming a new you. I think for some of us, the answer is becoming a more rested us, a more honest us, us that trust ourselves a little faster. That's not a new you. That's a redefined you. That's a you that renegotiated your terms with how you're going to show up in the world. So don't think you have to sprint into January. Because the truth of the matter is, and something I have been being taught over and over and over since 2020, is that alignment beats urgency every time. And while a lot of times we want to jump into these big decisions and these big glow ups and these big things, just a reminder that small decisions compound faster than big declarations. And so do your little renegotiations with self. It's okay if your New Year's resolution is simply, I am going to learn how to trust myself. I am going to learn how to not beat myself up if the alignment isn't coming as fast as I want it, but I'm doing my part anyway. In 2026, you don't need to reinvent yourself, but you do need to stop abandoning yourself. So, as you are going into the new year, I ask you to really just focus in on one intention. Maybe it's ask yourself, what's one way I can be kinder to me? Or you can ask yourself, what's one thing I am no longer going to force in 2026? Hell, even let it be a little exploratory. What's one thing I'm curious about, but don't have to commit to? Because here's the thing, curiosity is a kinder motivator than discipline alone. Life responds better to invitation than it does to demands. And some of us, like cough, cough, me, we were raised on this is what I say goes, and so this is what has to happen. And so that's how we treat ourselves, right? We demand certain things out of ourselves. Things must happen, things must get done. And that's not to say there isn't a time where that was helpful. That isn't to say that's a time where that might be needed. But especially if 2025 was a year that really beat you up, that really has you somewhere in a corner rocking, maybe approach 2026 with invitation instead. An invitation to be curious, an invitation to be kinder, and an invitation to allow yourself to be a little bit more flexible in the upcoming year. So on New Year's Eve, wherever you are, allow a party, a quiet room, halfway asleep on a couch, in a fancy hotel with the one that you love. I hope that you let your curiosity and your want to just be honest and true to yourself to be enough. You don't need to prove anything once the clock strikes midnight. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to keep choosing yourself when it matters. So, here's to a year that doesn't ask us to be perfect, just present. I'm wishing you guys a happy new year. I'm glad you're still here. And I hope to see you in joy and happiness and self welcoming and understanding in 2026. Now, as you guys know, we are still on a break, but I promised I would do a New Year's Eve episode because I don't think we've ever skipped a year of not having a New Year's episode. But we're still on the break. This is just our check-in. We're gonna come back towards the end of January with the co-host. Meek will be back. Gabby will be back. We are wishing all the luck in the world and love to Ashley. As you guys know, Ashley had a lot of life changes happen over the course of the last year. She became a mom, she got married. And so the podcast is just a little bit too much for all the other things she has going on right now. And as you guys know, Ashley also has her own podcast. Make sure you guys check it out called Parents Are People Too. But there is no harsh feelings or anything like that. We are all adjusting and going with the flow of life this season. But you can expect more episodes with the podcast when we come back from our break in late January. We thank you guys for listening. We thank you guys for following. We love when you guys give us comments. They make us laugh. I promise. Whenever you guys send us a dope comment or leave a dope review, I always screenshot it and send it. We got a group chat. I put it in the group chat. In fact, one of you guys actually recently left a comment on Apple Podcasts, reviews or whatever. And I sent it in, and Gabby was having such a bad day. And when I tell y'all that made her day, like tears forming, she was like, this is exactly what I needed to know. Like something that I'm doing matters. And so, guys, I'm just putting out there to say we do not take this lightly at all. We appreciate how much everybody has shown up for us this year. And we hope that we can show up for you guys in a great way in 2026 as well. Happy New Year, everybody. And you hear the sound of my voice in a few weeks. Bye.